So tell me, when did you first start having this feeling?
When I was like 13 years old, I started having these really vivid, recurring dreams where I could breathe underwater. In the dreams, I would be in a situation where the only option was death. And then, since your body doesn't know what it feels like to die, you just wake up after dying in a dream. So at first the dream is normal and I'm aware I'm dreaming, and I think I'll die in the dream, eventually jolting awake because that's what always happens, right? Death becomes reality or whatever. Anyway, I would have a dream like that, inch from death, blade to my neck, falling off a cliff. But instead of waking up, I'd fall into some body of water. I realized I was able to breathe under the water. I immediately just gasp and inhale this glorious water into my lungs like air. And then I just swim away or walk to the bottom of the ocean or something. So I ended up having these dreams so often that I began to get a little confused with what reality really was. Like, what I thought was the end of a dream was still a dream because I was breathing underwater, and obviously that's impossible, but it began to really mess with me. I mean, I was only 13. Breathing underwater, though, it felt so natural to me, I didn't even realize I was dreaming. And then I was second-guessing myself in both my dreams and actual reality, being like, have I been able to breathe underwater all this time and I just haven't tried it? Am I the only one? But then when I really did try it, I started choking and gasping, and I felt like a fucking idiot. But I couldn't shake it. It was so weird, though. It was like my mind wanted the dream to keep going, so it did something my conscious had never done before. But then I'm like thinking, why wouldn't I just die? That was something I'd never felt before either, but the dream felt so real that I truly couldn't tell what was real and what was not. And it's funny, I was talking about this with a friend once. We were at the beach looking out into the ocean, and my friend turned to me and was like, it'd be strange, wouldn't it, if we didn't know how to do something we're born to do in this life, like swim? What if we didn't know how to do certain things but did something else in its place? Humans naturally know how to swim, but wouldn't it be weird in a parallel life or something where our bodies are physically incapable of floating in the water, but instead we could fly? Like, imagine if we could fly and not swim. And in that universe, when we watch a movie or when someone asks what your superpower would be, it'd be to swim. I think about that a lot. I do feel like, though, everyone has their own superpower. We just don't recognize them as powers, like moving on after heartbreak, or being patient with people, or I don't know, musical prodigies. What if humans weren't capable of love? But in its place we could grow back a limb or have a sixth or seventh or 90th sense? Or what if we couldn't die? What if we couldn't dream ever, but instead we could breathe underwater? It's funny, I actually never remember how any of those dreams end. But what I do know is that I always end up by myself. And I mean, I like to be alone, don't get me wrong, I always have. I think that's my superpower, but in another life, maybe instead of learning how to be alone, I learn how to properly love and to be properly loved back.